And, you know, it's oddly enough, we said that June was going to be our health month, that we were going to teach you guys how to live without this big pharma lie. And here we are with a nice little story for you. Let me get this set up here. Takes me a second. We are off grid. We don't have studios. We do this stuff ourselves.
There we are.
This is Low Tech University here. If you want high tech university, go to university.offgridwithstacy.com. And you can join our university where it's a little more techy.
I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh, y'all. We got stories to tell. We want you to be able to survive the coming apocalypse because it is in your face.
We're crooked.
Hello.
I know, we're crooked.
Don't worry, I'll fix it. I'm the fix-it man. All right. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're making it happen. We're here, we're there, we're everywhere. Stacy's putting on her raw optics, which blocks out the blue light from the computers and your phones. If you guys don't have these glasses, this is also part of your health because they are on purpose. Here, I don't know how clear I can be, okay? They are out to take you out. Everything you touch has been poisoned and chemicalized and has ulterior motives, not for your good, but to take you out, okay? Blue lights on these computers, they actually patented it. Google and Apple, you can look it up for yourself. Don't believe anything that we say during this whole broadcast. Please look up and do your own due diligence, okay? So we wear these raw optics because we're going to be on here for an hour talking with you guys, sharing our story of what happened. Because, I mean, you know, you can tell by the thumbnail, it's kind of crazy. I mean, yeah, I'm a little out of the picture here even.
We need to go up because we need to see
No worries, I'm getting it. Don't worry. One thing at a time now. We're trying to go fast here. Word. All right, you got my hotspot? Need that.
No.
Did you give me a thumbs up? Everybody hit that thumbs up as we prepare to get right into it. Usually we're a little more prepared, but right now I'm just acting a little slow here. But it is kind of coming along. All right?
Where is that? Is that it?
Let's go.
Where is it? I don't know, since they moved everything around. I don't know where it is.
Boy, this is the stuff I got to deal with. All right. Here we go. Let me get this figured out for you guys just a little bit here.
Might make it clear. It's kind of fuzzy.
That's probably all the chemicals they've been spraying in the sky.
Oh, there's too much light coming in.
Well, I got to wipe the screen off. Hold on, guys. Don't leave us. Don't you be one of those clickers and click off because it ain't perfect. All right. That's how we roll over here. Let me get this off of here. This is wild. All right. Man, oh man.
It went on. What happened?
Here we go. Here we go. I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Hi, everyone. I'm seeing everyone.
Almost there. All right. Dang it.
There's Ohio and Northwest Oregon.
What is going on
What's
here?
happening with you?
I don't know what you
We're
got
still
going
on.
Why does that say that? That's not right.
Did you push the right thing? Why
You
did
got
it
my
say
phone?
what? No?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't know, but that's pretty weird.
What happened?
It says it's on the woodlot. Interesting. All right, so we won't get caught up in the schematics of it all. We'll get over here to the live show so I can see what's going on here. And then we'll get right into this thing. We're going to get right into the meat of it all. I'll tell you what happened. This month in June, when you guys tune in, we're trying to teach you guys how you can live without the third leading cause of death in America, which is the doctors. Okay, the video might be a little fuzzy because they have been spraying the skies like crazy. And if you didn't know, Missouri right now has had over 100, hold on, let me go look at my post, 117 confirmed tornadoes, making it the state with the most tornadoes in 2025. And just for reference, we usually have about 32 to 45 tornadoes in this area. And that's really a lot. But when they spray the heck out of the skies and then charge it with the electromagnetic frequencies from the Doppler radars, HARP, and other things, this is what you get. Okay, so you can use your own mind and draw your own conclusions. I just put it in front of your face so you can think about it. What chemicals? Chemtrails in the sky. Look up. You'll see them. And they openly admit it now that they're spraying, y'all. This is no joke anymore. I mean, they straight up are telling you right to your face, hey, we're spraying the skies. But that's not really the focus for today's
Because
video.
it's Health Month. And we have a doozy to talk to you
You need
about.
to know some Health Month about that. That's for sure. Because you need to know, maybe next week we can talk about how you can help your body fight that stuff, right? Because that's kind of a big deal. I'm trying to get this shot all put in here. Don't leave me now. I know how some of you guys are. Click, 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 click.
Yeah, well,
I'm just a little too big for this stuff. And this phone's hard to dial in. And that connection is pretty rough. But don't go anywhere, because what you need to do is just listen. Because when you listen, it'll give you something to think about. We'll never tell you what to think, but we will give you stuff to think about. All right, let's try that one right there. Can I do it? Am I doing it?
As we go on, it might get better.
It might, because we're doing a lot of movement around. I got a drink out of my copper cup. This helps with digestion. It helps with your melatonin. It helps with a lot of things. You can get your cup at offgridwithdouganstacy.com. Hit the shop tab.
People used to drink out of copper cups.
All the time. Why do you think they took the copper out of your house and put PVC plastic in? Right? Forever chemicals. I know. It's hard to believe. All right. We got the live chats going. We're going to get into this thing.
Valerie's just hanging out with us, not going anywhere.
Okay. We appreciate that, because I know that YouTube's kind of hiding us a little bit. I haven't been posting the videos. And, it just is what it is. All right. We got the copper. Can you drink tea in the copper cup? Sure, but it's going to be hot. It might burn your lips. So we suggest that you don't put hot beverages
can drink cold tea.
in the
You can drink cold tea.
copper cup.
Cold
We suggest that you don't put hot beverages in the copper cup, but you can if you're frisky.
It'll just burn you because it's hot.
All right. So let me give you guys the link real quick. If you want to get a copper cup, I'm going to have to get some more because we're getting low. So if you don't want to wait a bunch of weeks, you might want to get yours now. Holy smokes, I might have to get a fan in here. Okay, here we go. Nova Scotia in the house. How you doing, Nova Scotia? Y'all, in case you're new around here, Stacy and I live off-grid in this log cabin, just like the Amish. Except we post videos on YouTube, which many, they're kind of doing that now. And I seen the Amish girl cutting grass at the bank today. She was blowing the blower at the bank. It was the craziest thing I've seen. I was like,
at the bank?
Yeah, they were working in
at the
town
bank?
with a backpack blower on, and she's out there in her dress.
Maybe it was
with
a
her hat on.
Mennonite.
It could have been a Mennonite.
Yeah.
I was kind of across the street.
I'm sure it was.
But she looked Amish too.
It wouldn't have been on.
That's what I thought. But the Clark, they're kind of, a little different breed up there.
No.
All right. We're all
No,
busy,
no.
Doug. Thank you for making time for us. Jackie, we wouldn't miss it. Okay? Wouldn't miss it because honestly, Stacy and I, we really care about humanity and what's going on. And as we've lived out here for 17 years and uncovered all these lies, and like for the last 2 years, I showed you guys that this is a plan. The Council of Foreign Affairs, the Club of Rome, all these people have gotten together in the past, and they've basically mapped out your future without you having any knowledge, of it. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, go look all this stuff up. You are living in the Truman Show, and it's made by people that are nefarious, and they're controlling the narrative. Anything that you're watching, the riots in LA, any of this stuff is not organic, that did not just pop up. It's no coincidence that Trump tabbed Palantir. I warned you guys about this in my posts on here, and I've talked about it. He named Palantir to collect all of the data in America. Then right after that, because it was starting to gain a little legs, all of a sudden Elon and him break up, which is all phony baloney stuff. And then the riots broke out in LA. So don't get distracted from what's really important, which is your health and nutrition. That's really important.
Well, Patty just made 2 jars of fermented garlic getting ready for fall.
She's doing it.
A lot of people are collecting their garlic now. I know we have the garlic scapes in my garden,
Yep. Stacy
collecting
did a
those.
bunch of cabbage today. She made some sauerkraut.
A lot of sauerkraut.
And so you guys, that has a lot of vitamin C in it. It can really do your body good. Stacy has great videos teaching you how to make it. It's super easy and it's for your benefit. Learn how to ferment.
I need to do a video this week on fermenting.
Yeah, your stomach is your main brain, you know what I mean? It feeds everything. And they got you so whacked out with processed food and garbage at the stores and garbage at the drive-thrus and garbage pretty much everywhere. And now with the mRNA or mNRA or whatever it's called, technology, that's really going to wreck you. And it is. Proof's out there. Okay. All right. So here's what's going on. You guys, we're going to teach you guys how to live without these doctors. Remember, I broke all my ribs over here when we were building Mom's house, 6 ribs, 5 ribs, 1 in 3 places, right? So all I did was get up, make sure I could breathe, okay? We went to the chiropractor in town, had him do an x-ray on me for, $100, and then we made sure nothing vital was poked, and then that was it. I rested and I healed, and we used all natural remedies and rest and everything, and I healed from that. And this is the kind of stuff we want to convey to y'all so you can take care of yourselves, okay? Because the most capable hand is at the end of your wrist. So I got a little gator, I got it for around the farm. It's been proven to be kind of handy dandy. And I had it off at the service joint down the road here. We live off the gravel road out in the middle of nowhere.
It wasn't that far.
Yeah, so, Stacy took me down there, it's getting to be, getting to be about dusky, and she drops me off and I'm going to follow her home. And, I got her in the taillights, I see her right there. She sees me, whatever. And so we're just driving and just
down the gravel.
Everything's fine, right? And then she gets a little ahead of me, whatever. And then I'm just kind of driving. And then all of a sudden, literally all of a sudden,
this was 2 days ago.
Yeah. I just caught right here on the side of the buggy, like so close, like nose touching the rear view mirror on the side door there. Okay. A deer. And he's like pacing with me. And I was like, oh, and I barely tapped the brake on the buggy. The buggy hit the rocks. Spur, brr, pew. It landed in the ditch and the buggy rolled over, y'all.
All the way over.
Stop the madness.
And at now what I was doing is I was driving.
Oh, she's just driving.
Just listen.
Just driving.
I thought I was watching him the whole time, and then I thought he
Don't
stopped
say it
to
now.
talk to our neighbor.
No. Listen.
So I thought he stopped to talk to the neighbor. So I just kept going because
Hold
we
on.
needed to go to
I've
his
lived here
mom's house.
17 years. How many times have I ever stopped at that neighbor's
It's because
to talk?
he talked about him when we were driving there. So I figured he stopped to talk to him because he was outside.
She's figuring that. I'm figuring, dang, Stacy left me out here to die.
Listen.
I'm like dying over here.
Just listen. So what happened was I went to his mom's house because I had to help her do some stuff, and he was going to meet me at his mom's house, which she lives on our property. Okay. So now, not knowing what happened.
She doesn't know nothing. Don't say nothing because I got to tell the story.
He's got to tell the rest of the story. So
you
I'm
don't even
mom's
know
house.
what's up. She's over at Mom. She's doing her thing. I'm dying on the gravel road. And my head's bleeding. It looks like I've been in a UFC fight. The glass blew out of the whole back of the thing. The roof crunked in a little bit.
No, it's all the whole gator's crooked.
The gator
broken.
rolled over, and luckily it landed right on its wheels. Okay, so I'm like in the gator. I probably spit out a few choice words there. And man, I'm trying to get my wits about me. And then I look over there, of course, everything I had in the back and inside is all kind of jumbled and spread about. So I grabbed what was important. I looked around. I'm like, wow, I can't even believe this just happened. You know what I mean? Like, whew. And so I get in the gator.
And we were like almost home.
Luckily it started. Everything was fine. Actually, what happened was I started the wrong way going home.
Because he had a concussion.
And I had to figure out, oh, shoot, I'm going the wrong way. I had to turn around and then start heading back home. So I head to the house, and then I know she's over at the mom's because I see her truck, because I got to turn on ours to get to theirs and ours and this and that. And so I go down there because I got to let her know, I need her attention.
Oh, my gosh.
So I pull up into the driveway, and Stacy's, in with Mom, and I jump out, and I took my hat off.
No, you didn't even need to take your hat off.
No, I know, but I had the blood was, you can see this.
Everywhere.
This cut was right here on my head, right here on the top, like you say in the picture. And then on the back here, hold on, I'm going to show you. And we're going to tell you everything that we did. See that? Can you see it? Look in your phone, please.
Yeah.
So you can see right there, that's our herbal stitches. Make sure you guys have herbal stitches in your
hold on, I'm going to go through
in
the
your
whole
stuff.
protocol. So when he came up, he really looked.
I said, Stacy?
Well, I'm having flashbacks because many years ago, he
we don't have to
got
talk about that.
dehydrated.
Come on.
No, I'm just telling you. Because he was kind of out of sorts. So he had cracked his head open, and he came to me all bloody and all this kind of stuff. Oh, I'm fine. I don't need
this
to go
was
to the doctor.
many years ago.
Yes. and his whole head is cracked open like
Yeah.
a
It took
ball.
like 60 stitches to get it back in.
So I look at him, and he has this golf ball size knot right
Oh yeah,
above
right
his eye.
here. It was just big old right here.
Yeah, right above his eye.
It was huge.
Golf ball, and then he had this huge gash here.
Yep.
And then in the back of his head was really bad.
Yep.
Really bad. And then he had his ear, his lip was like this big. It was totally cut open, and then he had blood coming out of his ears, his whole face. I mean, he looked like a horror movie.
It was crazy.
So I'm like, okay. So we get in the
What
car.
happened?
So he told me. So I took him home, and and I just kind of wanted to talk to you about the things that I did, and you cannot even tell anything happened to them. You cannot even tell.
Like, look at my eye right there. All you can see is a little black and blue right there. You get a whole big old black eye.
No, I was thinking he's going to have bloody eyes. He's going to have a huge black eye all the way down here because the knot was huge above his head. And it was just all over. It just looked absolutely horrific. So I just kind of want to go over some of the stuff that I did for Doug. I'm gonna make sure I'm getting everything right. Okay, so
Nobody was around.
there was nobody around. I can't even
I'm
believe
like,
it happened.
holy cow, I'm like, my wife leaves me out here. I could be laying up under those things are kind of dangerous, y'all. So be careful if you're riding them, okay? And I know an old homestead homie, OG homestead homie, her husband actually died in one of these things. He was moving I think it was a television they had bought, and they were bringing it into the crib. And some kind of a way that thing flipped over and it killed him on the spot. Okay, so be careful out there if you drive one of these things. I haven't really had any problems, but that ditch and that rocks was a terrible combination.
Well, it's the deer and those things that are bad. Because we had another guy down here got killed driving down on the road.
Deers can get you all the time, even in your vehicles and stuff.
But on a gator. Okay. So the first thing I did, you have to clean the wound, of course. So, got to think of a few things that'll clean it. So I had some structured silver that I just kept pouring because he's like, you're kind of in shock, so, you just have to, sit down. It's okay. And just do your thing. And I just kept blotting it nicely, cleaning it with the structured silver. So I was cleaning it, make sure looking all over, finding where there's, injuries, because when you have something like that happen, a traumatic injury, he could have had something sticking out of his back, or who knows. He had this huge thing gashed into a back by his kidney, this thing. I don't know.
No, it was just a cherry from
you should see it.
I probably hit the door handle or
it
something.
looks nuts. But then his lip was totally cut open, and it
I didn't even show you that. Hold on, let me see if you can see it. Because it was black and blue yesterday.
People don't need to see your lip. And
there's a gash underneath my mustache. You couldn't see that.
Yeah. So I had to clean them up. So I used the silver to make sure everything was good. And then what I started to do, and I want to talk to you a little bit about homeopathy. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but I started giving him some cell salts immediately, okay? Because the sooner you start these, the better. So I started with the homeopathy, and then I got the comfrey tincture because he had trauma. I was concerned about that big knot above his eye. So I got the comfrey tincture from Dr. Jones, and I just would squirt it on there, and I just massaged it in nicely, okay? Because it's great for bruising and broken things, and it's just wonderful what it can do. So that was the third thing I did. I'm giving you in the order because I wrote it down because I'm like, I got to remember this because it worked. Like, you can't even tell anything happened to him. Then, worried about a concussion, I used some frankincense essential oils, rubbed it on my forehead and on the back of the neck here because that's good for inflammation. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps to calm, stress reduction, and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, Tia, for helping me with that one because she's like,
yeah, she rubbed it on my neck, and she rubbed it where else? Like on my
forehead and on the back of the neck. Yeah, because I knew he had a concussion, so I thought that would be good too. So Tia told me to do that, and I did that. Then also started with liposomal vitamin C because it's very good at healing with the collagen, and vitamin C is just really good to help support the body's healing process. So I did the liposomal vitamin C, and then got him to relax, and then of course our Rest and Digest tea from offgoodsegandstacy.com because it has 4 different things in it. Like ginger is a good like pain reliever, anti-inflammatory. It's got lemongrass that's good for, inflammation and pain. Same thing. We also have chamomile, just to help reduce the swelling. So these things are all great, as well as, which is good to help alleviate any swelling and pain too. So as well as helping you with your digestion and helping you to relax, it was good for this too. So I got him the Rest and Digest tea. So we kind of did those things, and we were on it. Homeopathy, we were doing it, and like every 10 minutes, I was giving him some homeopathy, the tissue salts, as well as we were putting the comfrey on, and then and then we also use some other things too. And I'm going to kind of go over and kind of talk about the cell salts in just a minute. But the one thing you got to remember is just to be consistent with a lot of these things, and to, don't freak out or get freaked out or scared or anything. But, just kind of know, if something happens, we can think if someone gets a cold or a cough or whatever, you can kind of figure out things. But when you have a traumatic injury, you got to kind of, have kind of an idea what you might do. But, I forgot to tell you, most importantly, after I had these all cleaned up, I needed the bleeding to stop. So actually that was the number 2 thing I did. I cleaned them off, and then I got the stitches, and I was packing them. This one packed quickly. The one in the back was pretty bad. And so I had to pack it. I packed it maybe 3 times right in the beginning, and I had to keep packing it because it needed a lot. So when you looked at it now, it looked kind of crazy, but I had to put a lot in it because he had a pretty good gash.
It's bad.
So this is just what we did. You guys all do your research.
We're not doctors. We don't play one on YouTube.
This is just what we did.
But for 17 years, y'all, we've done all this stuff ourselves. We have not been to the number 3 leading cause of death in America. We do not believe in those people, and especially since COVID rolled out. I mean, man. And the stories we're getting now, our daughter's pregnant. She's going to see them about their baby. She won't even go back there no more. They've lost their mind. And so we're just trying to keep you out of their grip, because they are here to take you out. That's it, period. Man, so, she did her doctoring on me. We got the stitches. Guys, get the stitches for your preps, right? That is very important. Herbal stitches. Stacy and I, we have that at our company, the Missouri Tea Company. I'm going to leave a link for you guys here. Along with all of our teas are medicinal teas. The copper cups are good for your health. Well,
what I'm just going to say is, with the comfrey and everything that we did, I was just amazed. And the funny thing,
she is having her baby at home.
So
we got them figured out now. They didn't believe us, and they were kind of dabbling with it. But then when she came after the doctor the other day, she was like, "No, we're definitely doing it."
No, she's got a midwife now. So he had this big golf ball size thing, and I put the comfrey on it. And the funny thing is like the next day you started.
It spread out.
It spread out, of course, but it had healed it. But like where I didn't put the comfrey right above his eye, that's the only place it turned black and blue. Like your eye is black and blue right here, like right on your eye. I didn't want to put comfrey right there. So that's the only place. See, you can kind of see it. See, look. That's the only place he didn't get the comfrey on, and that's where he got the bruise. But if he wouldn't have, this whole thing would have been. I mean,
black
it was
and blue.
crazy.
I had a big old bing up here, boy.
And then you have to be careful when you have a knot like that. He goes to bed early. I'm like, you can't go to bed. You have to stay up. So I made sure he stayed up for a while to watch him, and made sure his eyes weren't dilated and all those kind of things that you would look like.
Yeah, and all the things that your grandma and your great grandma did, but we've all forgotten because we've been bamboozled hardcore into the Rothschild, Rockefeller medical system. Sad to say.
So, you want to talk about? So what I did was, and I kind of want to show you a little something that I have.
All right, so in case you guys didn't know, there's an author, doctor, a guy who's a true fellow of humanity trying to get the word out for stuff. His name is Dr. Cowan. He wrote a book called The Cajun Myth.
He's wrote a lot of books.
And he's a very knowledgeable fellow. If you want to see him live and in person, Doug and Stacy are actually having him at the 2026 Homesteading Life Conference that you could get your on-sale tickets at for now. It's next year in, what month is it? May?
I think
15th and 16th. We already have the website up. He is our main speaker. He's going to do a workshop And so you'll be able to get this information right from him firsthand. Okay. This guy's no joke, and we love him.
So Dr. Tom
We hang
Cowan,
out with the coolest people.
he's a world-renowned medical doctor and a researcher. So he's got 37 years of medical experience. He's a leading voice speaking against the mainstream medical narrative.
Yep.
He's got a huge message of health freedom, personal autonomy, and it's resonated with lots of people throughout the world. He's got a really great website. It's called drtomcowan.com. Cowan is COWAN, drtomcowan.com. He's got lots of content, free content. There's podcasts, blogs, articles, videos, lots of stuff on there. So you guys could go check that out. He's got in his practice, he talks about EMF, mitigation, supplements, detoxification, healing, support, all this kind of stuff. I know we have been talking a lot about what's going on in the air and the detoxification. I've talked about this shortly, not, I guess, that long ago we did. Grab that dirty bag right there. Do you see that bag right there? No, just the little bag that's black on that one. Yeah. So like,
be careful.
He's got an incredible product that's called Detoxify. See this? It's kind of dirty. There's Shilajit in here, and then there's activated charcoal, and then there's seaweed extract and zeolite, and it's a gentle detoxifier. So from glyphosate to heavy metals to things in the air. So like Doug and I did a detox with this where we did it like a half a teaspoon twice a day for a week.
Why
and
are
then
we buzzing on to that? Now
well,
we're
I just want to
talking about my wound care.
I am, but I'm
and
talking
all
about
that
this real quick.
stuff. Don't talk about that. You're messing up. We talk about detoxing next time or something.
Got it. Oh,
holy smoke! Stay focused, man. It's hard enough for people to follow the bouncing ball.
yeah.
This is 2025.
Well, he's shame on him. So we'll talk about that later. So
next week we'll talk about detoxing. This whole month, y'all, on Monday nights at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to try to bring you into the health zone, so you can take care of yourself to the best of your own ability, and then lean on them if it's, if you need more help.
Okay, so
we didn't even use ice really or nothing.
No, we didn't use any.
It was the arnica.
Not going to use any.
I was taking the arnica internally with these these cell salts. I was kind of poo-pooing at first. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
I've been giving him cell salts for a long time.
Not a long time, but like, we started talking with Dr. Cowan, and then he sent us some stuff, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out. And then, like a lot of us are depleted in our minerals, even us, because we're out here in the daytime all the time with all these bombarded of these toxic chemicals. And she gave me some cell salts. What was the first ones you gave me?
Well, the two.
No, not for this.
No,
I'm just talking about period. Like
the 12-in-1.
12-in-1.
Yeah, the 12-in-1 is that they have. It's the 12-in-1 cell salts. So it has. So if you look at this kit, you get 12 different cell salts, and they all address different things. So, you get like a little book, and there's 12 of them, and they can range anywhere from digestive problems to nervous problems to headaches to colds to fever, lymphatic problems. I mean, it goes through anything that could be going on wrong with you. So basically with that, and like for bruising for Doug, you can look at the numbers. It would be like a number 4, which is the Fairphos, and then like the silica, which would be number 12. And those two together would be good for bruising and trauma kind of things that you could take. But it'll tell you, it has everything on here. And basically, the company that makes these is called Jackson's Naturals. And I like this.
Y'all, I'm leaving you a link in the comments section to get your cell salts at a discount price through Dr. Cowan. Okay, so make sure you use that link. You don't have to ask people where they get theirs or these are like the best products that you could get. This guy is no joke. So cell salts are here.
They're an amber bottle, so that helps with the light causing any problems to it. They're made in the United States, and they're Schussler cell salts, or sometimes they call them tissue salts, and it's basically based on a system developed by Dr. Schussler, and they're homeopathy, and it balances and regulates the mineral levels inside of your body. So the goal with the cell salts is it's sort of like people talk about microdosing now, but it's sort of like you microdose. And this is something that's been going on for a long time. It just optimally, it like balances everything out that we need for cellular health, because if our cells are not right, you're not going to be able to get healthy or, get better. So when you look at, let's see, when you look at these, it's not intended to replace anything, for your body, creating it. It's just to better regulate the minerals inside. So they're like little bitty, I don't want to.
They're very tiny little dealios.
And you put them under your tongue.
Don't touch them. Put them in the cap.
And then you put them under your tongue, and then they just dissolve.
So like that bottle, you can pour them out pretty easy, but he has these other little bottles.
No, not that wasn't that one.
Oh.
No, not those. Those are different. That was a different one.
Oh.
So I like these because these are in the glass bottles, and they're the amber kind of bottles, and there's lots of them in here. And I cannot tell you, these are great for kids. Anybody can take them. They're very safe and effective. You can do your research on Jackson's cell salts. If someone was getting a cold or something.
You got to talk about the link, not Jackson's.
No, this is what they're called.
I know, but you have to get them through the Dr. Cowan link right
and
there that saves you money, right? But you're going to cause them to go look at it, but they're going to pay full price. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to save you guys money.
Well, that's what they're called. So the cell salts have been amazing for lots of different, things going on in the body. And then a lot of people, the 12-in-1 is...
Don't worry about the video being blurry, y'all. We live off grid. I'm using a cell phone to do this stuff. I mean, it's not no high-tech center over here. But just listen to what we're saying, take notes, write it down. Everything will be fine.
And then the cell salts, like I say, there's 12 different kinds. And then there's also one that's called a 12-in-1, where it puts all of them together in one pill. So a lot of times, if you're not feeling right, or that's all you have, that's something that you could do and help. I know when I wasn't feeling okay, that's all I had with me. And then I would start doing that and taking those. You just put them under your tongue and they dissolve. They taste like hardly anything. And it's just one of these things that has just been amazing, and using your body to kind of help heal itself, and something so simple and so safe and effective that doesn't have anything made, from China, or have any GMO products in it, and all that, and it's using your body to help heal it. So he did it, and I can't believe that was for him. And actually what I started doing is, get a concussion, you get tired and fatigued. So then I even started him on another one, helps with physical and emotional. What did I write? Fatigue, stress, and tension. So I thought that was another good one that I started doing for him too. So it was 5-in-1. So 5-in-1 phosphate. So they have the two. One's a 12-in-1 and one's a 5-in-1. And I started him on the 5-in-1 as well. And then there's the whole pack where you get all 12. So you can get them one by one at a time. You can get them all in a kit. You can kind of do them however. But what I liked about what I did is I used a little bit of everything when I was kind of helping him. I thought it was kind of cool because you don't really think about it. Here where I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. So I used a little bit of everything. I used the colloidal silver. I used the stitches. So I got some herbs. I did some homeopathy. The comfrey tincture was a herb. I did essential oils. I did vitamin C. We used tea. So I just kind of used a lot of everything. I just didn't put all my eggs in one basket. I think it's so important when you are working, with, taking care of yourself, to kind of use a lot of different things to kind of help support your body's healing process. So.
But you husbands, watch out. These wives, they get rolling on you and it's like, take this, take this, take this, take this, take this.
It worked.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, it totally worked. So I was very happy with that. So I will definitely remember that.
So you guys should be putting together your own emergency kits, finding this information that we're sharing with you, using the links because all of our links save you money. And then you guys should be preparing. Look what's going on around you. This is all by design. They are marching us into all this digital nonsense. And it's fast tracking. This is basically, we are in shock and awe in America right now. And if you're in Europe or the UK, you know what I'm talking about, because you guys are probably a little bit ahead of us right now. So if you guys just showed up, I was riding in my buggy back from the place for fixing it. A deer was right on the side of the buggy, like right at my door. I barely tapped my brakes. The rock spun me into the ditch. The buggy flipped over. I got a gash on the back of my head, pretty nice size. And I got this gash up here, but the herbal stitches is on there, stopped the bleeding right away, and is healing it up. So when you think you might need stitches, you can put the herbal stitches on there. I'll show you one more time on the back here. See it right there? You put the herbal stitches on there. It's a dry pack, and you leave it in there, okay? And if it comes out, put some more on there. I've even taken a shower with this, and it stayed on. I tried to take it off, but don't take it off. You just leave it on there, and it'll come off when it comes off, okay? And we used the herbal stitches. We used all the stuff Stacy talked about, arnica, and all this other stuff, and it works. And that's why the Rothschilds got in your face back in the day, our Rockefellers, and took all that away from you, captured all the medical stuff, and then standardized it and rolled it out so you can eat petroleum that will make you feel better. This is crazy, man. You really can't even make this stuff up, even in a really bad movie. But this is the life we're living. This is the reality of it. You can choose to ignore it, or you can choose to address it and attack it and then be more self-sufficient. 17 years of us being out here, we were just like a lot of y'all, man. We were on the system, in the Matrix, in the Truman Show, fat, literally, and happy. And we thought we were happy, right? But it was just an illusion. And once we got above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond that illusion, you know what I'm saying? We were soaring ever higher. You know what I mean? And our lives have changed. We've lost weight. We're more alert. She's in her 60s. I'm almost 60. Like, we're good examples for you guys to follow. It's not poo-poo, foo-foo stuff. We are literally sharing our lives with you guys on YouTube for like the last decade. So you can watch all of our old videos and see how we were looking then. I was a little more portly. My beard was darker. Oh my goodness, y'all. And this stuff is really serious. This is why they try to outlaw living off grid. This is why they try to outlaw homeschooling. This is why they try to outlaw, basically taking care of yourself. They're kind of forcing you into their system. And we want you guys to break free. Weston Price is a great resource.
And also Dr. Cowan is on the board.
Oh, wow.
Executive board. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, he's up there. He's written this Contagion myth he wrote with Sally Fallon.
Excellent.
So this is a really good book. And then if you want, this is with kids, this is a great book too. This is his new book. Actually, he wrote it a few years ago, but it's new. It just came out. But
and even like Dr. Cruz, like I listened to him, very smart guy, 30-year neurosurgeon. He wants to decentralize medicine. He knows that they're killing you. He posts all the time. And what he said the other day about the sunlight, that's why they want to block out the sun, y'all. It has nothing to do with global nothing. They literally are trying to block out the sun because their total goal, don't censor me, YouTube. I'm just telling them the truth now. You can put this through the chat GTP or something. Their total goal is population control. They openly admit that they think that there's too many people here when the scriptures say, be fruitful and multiply. Everything is the opposite: steal, kill, and destroy. So Dr. Cruz was talking about how sunlight is so important for you. And then he said there's only one doctor that he knows that proved it, even on accident, he proved it. And that was Weston A. Price, because he went around to the indigenous folks looking at their teeth and their gums and their overall health. And he came to the conclusion, because they weren't eating bleached flour, bleached sugar, bleached garbage from the West, that they maintained a better healthiness, okay? Dr. Cruz said he accidentally, but didn't even recognize it, because those people are outside all the time. They don't have 5-bedroom houses, 3,500 square feet, air conditioning, blue light TVs. You know what I'm saying? They're outside working the land. That's why it is a proven fact that farmers live longer than anybody, okay? Because they're outside working in the soil, in the sunlight all day long. They got you wearing sunglasses, slathering on, I'm being attacked. Seriously. They got you slathering on sunscreen and all this stuff. All of a sudden, my left ear just started ringing like crazy. Do you have ringing in your ear? Have you ever thought about that? That is a signal that they're pushing out to do that to you, right? Because the ringing in the ear, the tinnitus, that has exploded over the last like 10 years. Okay, ever since they started the 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, Trump wants 7G out there. Please look into what 7 gigahertz worth of frequency does to you. I think at 5, it's military grade. So anything 5 and above is a hot mess. Okay, and don't forget. I mean, I just bring you the news. I don't make it or anything, but Junior is not doing nothing. Okay, they're rolling out mRNA vaccines right now, and they're not even ashamed about it. And he does all the sidestepping and the sweet talking, and they want the Fruit Loops, right? But meanwhile, this technology is out there wrecking children's lives every day. Okay, so you guys have to be your own advocate.
Okay, Terry says, what do you do with fermented liquid after the carrots are gone? Well, Terry, probably the best part is the juice. So you could use it and just have a shot of juice every day. So then you're going to get double bang it for it. So you have the carrots and then the juice, you could go ahead and drink a little every day. Or if you want to use that to jumpstart another ferment, it won't take as long. So if maybe it took 2 weeks to ferment, it might take half that amount of time once you jumpstarted it with the ferment. But I sometimes I'll give a shot to my dog. If you have a pet, you could give it to the animal, put it in their feed, and that's good for them. Or I just like to take those and actually just drink them, just take a little shot. And that way, if you're not eating the carrots, you can just have a shot of carrot juice.
All right, I'm going to drop that link to you guys for the cell salts and all things there that are good for you.
So
okay?
There's this liposomal vitamin C.
Ooh, it's so good.
I think it's the only cell salt or vitamin C that's like non-Chinese, non-GMO. It's like the most potent, I think, out of any of them. It's like the best. Honestly, I will probably say this is the best, most absorbable vitamin C out of like anybody's, honestly. So he has it as Dr. Collins liposomal vitamin C. It's made out of like the lemon peel, the way it's extracted. It's pretty fancy smancy. I mean, you can go on the website and read about it. But this is pretty cool stuff.
Y'all, you guys don't understand, like even the shower, when you're taking a shower, if you're living off city water, okay? That city water has chlorine, fluoride, chloride, all this stuff in it. And when you heat that up and you put that on your body, that's why you're having thyroid issues. Okay, I was listening to Dr. Who's the other guy? I did him in my video before. He's a truther too.
There's a lot of them.
Dr. Bain or Bob B. What's his name? Anyways, he was talking about that. It made perfect sense. Ever since Stacy and I got off city water and stuff, we've been living out here on rainwater. And now we are moving into artesian well. Okay, I got more updates on that later. I was very excited to find that out. So we're going to maybe switch a little bit of our water systems here until they get this spraying stuff under control, which probably won't happen. But yeah, you guys have to do your best to get off that city water or filter the heck out of it. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, it is so bad for you. And when you put that on your skin, it's the largest organ on your body, and you're standing in that hot shower.
And you breathe it in.
It is so not good for you. And that's why you have a lot of issues as well. So you have to think about all these things. Hey, Deb, what's the name of the foundation?
So
it's called Weston A. Price.
And it costs $40 to join, but I'm telling you guys.
The first book that they send you is worth the $40. And then after that, you get all this other free information.
Quarterly, you get these booklets that have articles and everything in it, and it's great. And then when you first join, they send you all the pamphlets and everything. It's a great organization. You get good emails. If you'd like to go, they have a wonderful conference.
We were speakers there before.
Yeah, so it's a really, really wonderful organization.
And if somebody told you to be careful about making kombucha, it's just because they're 100% into the system. It's no big deal making it. Stacy has thousands of videos on how to do it. All you have to do is make kombucha off-grid, Doug, and it'll pop up. And it's very good for you, okay? They have us scared of everything natural. This is the craziest thing I've witnessed in my whole lifespan. Man, this is wild. And you can't unsee it. Once you guys see this stuff, you can't unsee it. You know what I'm saying? All right, largest town fluoridated, and the amount of people who, and then they also like, DeSantis is openly talking about the fluoridated water in Florida. He's gonna try to get rid of it, like he's, signing this proclamation or whatever he does down there. All of the people know the damage that that's doing, yet they still pump it out. And the pharmaceuticals that are in your public water supply are off the chain. You guys have to think about that, y'all.
Yeah, probably one of the most important things I would do is look into your water. Actually, well, we can talk about water because there's some stuff we can do with water too. We'll talk about that.
That's part of our month. We'll get into that a little bit too. Structured water. We got to be careful with that.
And not just that. I'm talking about other things.
But I'm just saying, man, you have to be careful now. Even talking online about the stuff that actually heals you because they're all in cahoots, right? That's crazy stuff, y'all. I mean, I can't even hardly believe it. And I want to also say that Dr. Cowan, if you guys can't grow food, right? He has a great supplement program and he uses homesteaders, okay? He's sourced homesteaders that grow the stuff to high standards, and that's who he does his business with. And then he makes supplements for you to take because maybe you can't grow your own food.
And I don't even want to say they're
not supplements.
So what he does is he gets like the greens, like low oxalate greens, or he'll get different. There's one. Get the one out of my basket. There's one I really like. It's a trifold blend. There's like a savory and a sweet one, and he puts them in those amber bottles, which I love because then they won't oxidize as quickly. And you can put them in your smoothies or put them in a drink of water because a lot of people may not get the best quality vegetables. Maybe you're not able to. So this is another way that you could get.
It's a good workaround.
Here, I'll get it. Or if you travel or something.
And that's also Dr. Cowan. They have very strict standards, y'all. That's why we like about it.
That's Dr. Cowan's garden.
Yeah, Dr. Cowan's garden. Here's the link right here. So we have 2 different links for Dr. Cowan for you guys. I would seriously suggest, I know it's tough out there for a lot of people right now, but you're going to pay for this stuff one way or the other.
So here's the thing.
So you might as well be healthy and pay for it. Sickly.
One thing that I want you guys to think about is when you take supplements, you want supplements that are made from food. Food that's very important. So like here is, it's a threefold powder, slightly sweet. There's squash and, there's a bunch of different things in there. And you get a ton of it in there. I mean, it lasts you forever. Just put like a half a teaspoon in or in your drink. And then if you're traveling or maybe you just, like you said, you don't have a garden and you want something healthy. And there's a different one. Here's another one, threefold savory blend. So he's got a bunch of stuff that are made pristinely, raised organically. And so there's dandelion. There's a few other things there on the website.
Sherry, did he get a jab? I mean, if he plays sports, he probably had to get a jab. 13-year-old diagnosed with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, as well as a vitamin D deficiency. Also, your kids are not getting outside. I don't know about this kid, but most kids are not getting outside, man. They're playing video games and playing on their phone, and every time you see them, their face is down into the blue lights. Insulin resistant. He's a healthy kid, football player, very active, healthy. Out of the blue, she says, it hits. Y'all, our bodies are being bombarded. This is they call it the silent war, and they're setting up the Internet of Things. Please write those 2 phrases down and look it up. It is already happening. I hate to bring this to you guys and sound like Debbie Downer, but we're giving you solutions. We actually live it. Like I watch a lot of people, and they talk about this stuff, and they're 100% reliable on the grid, 100%. You know what I mean? There's some people out there that are, doing some stuff, you know what I mean? But just be careful, like who you're watching. Like you got to be able to have this information. You got to study this stuff now, y'all. You have the internet at your fingertips. My old videos should be blowing up with all you guys researching and looking at all of our older videos, 2 years and older, where we're showing you how to do all this stuff, the gardening, the fermenting, everything building, taking care of yourself, collecting rainwater. I have these playlists put together to help you out. All that information is totally for free and at your fingertips. It's like a master course on how to do all this stuff. And all you have to do is sit down with your pen and paper every day, hit that thumbs up while you're watching the video, say, hey, Doug, I'm watching your old videos. Leave a little comment, helps the analytics. And that stuff can move your needle. You know, we've been living this stuff and trying to share it with you guys for free right here on YouTube, right? And now, you know, we've had injuries. Now you've seen broken ribs, you've seen stitches, you've seen cracked heads.
Yeah, fainting.
Oh my gosh, man. 17 years we've been living here and over a decade
and you guys
posting
know,
videos.
Accidents usually happen like within just a couple miles of your house.
Yeah, that is no joke.
You know? Yeah. So I'm just like very tickled with how everything turned out with him. So just know having some of these things on hand is very important. Make sure they're easy accessible where you're able to get them. It's good to always have maybe a friend that you want to call up and say, okay, you know, and thanks to Tia, I called her and we were kind of talking back and forth, you know, just kind of get your head straight, just kind of figure out, you know, what's the order, how you're going to do all this stuff too. It makes a huge, huge, huge difference. So yeah, I'm just telling you, the cell salts have been amazing. The liposomal vitamin C has been amazing. The tea, everything that I have here, you know, even like the tea, the Rest and Digest tea that we have, or if you're growing your own and you make your own like herbal blends, a lot of that stuff, if you have, sometimes that you can clean with that. If you didn't have anything to clean or disinfect it, you know, if you made a nice tea and then you poured it over. I've done that many times cleaning animal wounds, you know, like you can't get close to them or something, and you just have some tea cool down. You might pour it in a gashing wound or something. I've done that with yarrow tea, calendula tea. I've done that before with animals. So just like some of these things.
And we have these teas for you if you want to get them from us. We have all organic, highest quality possible. They're very good for you. We only sell medicinal teas. We have chocolate tea, dandelion tea. The mullein tea is good for your lungs, which is, you might need some help with your lungs these days. What else we got? Hibiscus tea, which is very good. You can even make a cold tea out of that, and then you could drink it from your copper mug, which helps with your digestion. Helps if you have bad water to make it right. Helps with the melanin in your skin. Everything that we're trying to show you guys is definitely for your good. It's not, you know, anything foo-foo, poo-poo, and it's just wasting your time. We're trying to help you guys out. I'm glad you caught us live too, Angelic. Did you miss the knot on the back of my head? The buggy rolled over. That's what I got out of it there, my little souvenir. I got a cut up here, and we're just teaching you guys how you can take care of yourself. You don't have to run to Big Pharma, the third leading cause of death in America. You don't have to run to them, right? Now, if your stuff's hanging off and your bones are showing and, you know, you're like, blah, man, we suggest maybe you might want to go check them out. You know what I mean? But just, you know, when they get you done, just ask them, you know, did you get your scalpel out of there? And there's no gauze left in there, right? Just make sure you ask them some questions. But that we suggest, but for this other stuff,
but just,
for the most part,
do your research on all the stuff that we're talking about and look into it, and just know maybe you might need it. Maybe if you're not able to get help, if you need help, you know, it's always good to know some of these things in emergency situations.
And spiritual warfare, you got that right, man. Stay spiritually fit, okay? I don't really want to get into all this religious stuff, but part of our journey, right, was me locking myself up and for like 2 years totally digesting this stuff. And I was like, holy smokes, we have been so lied to. Just, it's in your own scriptures. Like if you actually took the time, just didn't listen to the pulpit, and you actually read for yourself, studied for yourself, thought about things yourself, you'll come to that conclusion, I promise you. The pulpit is lying to your face and tricking you into not being spiritually fit. I'll just leave it at that. No, I'm not accident prone. But when you do stuff, you know what I mean? Like if you're not just sitting on your couch all day and hanging out and driving from your air-conditioned car to your air-conditioned work and back to your air-conditioned house, you know, you open up the more possibilities of possibly something happen. And, you know, around here, we're dealing with hammers and nails and saws, and, you know, we're messing with livestock. That's one of the reasons why I never liked the cows that want to milk cows. I got an old neighbor over here. He didn't even get kicked by the cow. The cow actually racked its butt over, swung the gate, it hit the gate swung over and smacked them. They had to airlift them out of there. You know what I'm saying? So like that thing never really, tickled my fancy. So I like my sheep. You got to watch the ram. But just think about all these little different things. Try to limit your liability, so to speak. You know what I mean? And then just make sure you have a good arsenal at the house. Like that's going to be your first place you're going to go to is the house. So you have to have these cell salts, the silver, all this stuff, the herbal stitches.
And I really like this. It's Only, ONLE Organics. Only Organics. It's really wonderful. She's got some good stuff. So you can go look at her stuff too.
Oh, I won't be surprised what some of the words mean. You guys are looking at the Greek, Latin, and then American. Man, that's all messed up. Like, they didn't even talk that stuff. If you go look in history, the Jews are on record to saying, okay, they'd rather let their children eat swine, which is a big deal, than to let them learn to write Greek or to speak Greek. Back in the day, they did not adopt foreign languages, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just not something that they did, right? So there's a lot of translation problems in there. So you have to go back. eSword is a very good free tool, eSword. And you can use that to look at the Aramaic and the Hebrew versus what the Greek stuff says and all that stuff. And you might be quite surprised. Okay, is structured silver the same as colloidal silver?
They've used structured water in making this.
That makes it even better.
And I'm going to tell you another thing that I've been doing my little experiments on this lately. And I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt, that when I use structured water, when I make my ferments, they don't go bad. Like a lot of times I'll have some ones that get icky, or maybe they have a weird taste, or sometimes they do kind of get a mold or something on them and they just don't taste right. When I've been using the structured water, I've been having a very high success rate with all my ferments.
Yeah.
Too, with the structured water.
There's something to be said for that, y'all. We are structured water. Your body is structured water, and they're polluting it with their chemical fluoride, chlorine, chloride, and pharma and everything else in there. They know it. And then, not to mention, go look at where your water comes from in your city. Is there a cell phone tower attached to it? Is there one right by it? How weird is that?
And then just know, if you guys are interested in structure, you can go to tmhw.net and you can look into the structured units there. tmhw.net, and then you guys can structure your water. And it looks like, where did it go? Where is it? I lost it. Someone just asked me something and I lost it.
So if you guys would like to come and see Dr. Cowan talk about all this good information, we have him signed up for the 2026 Homesteading Live Conference. It's going to be lit. Okay, our conferences are lit. And limited seating too, y'all. We don't have like 5,000 people there. So you could come and see him, see us, see our other great speakers, and you can really learn some stuff. We always get great feedback. If you were at our conference in 2025, please leave a comment so people can see what you thought about it. Just tell the truth and leave it in the comments there.
Okay, Christina says, did I ever suffer hot flashes, and if so, what helped me?
Oh!
Christina, the one that helped me is don't do sugar or don't do high carbohydrate foods. Like if you eat a bunch of pancakes without, some meat with them or eggs, or, you have to watch that dumping of your insulin levels. You need to really watch that tremendously. Sugar was like your enemy. When I would eat pristine and eat good, I didn't have any problem at all. And then within an hour after eating, let's say I had a cookie or something, I get hot flashes. But no, I'm very good with my diet. So makes a huge difference. And then the more you do it and you don't, eat that crud, and you get the sugar out, because it is basically a drug, your body doesn't crave it. Like you don't have to have it. And I know now, like I'll go ahead and if there's something I really like, I'll have it, or I'm like, oh, I'll try that. Like we had strawberry season. We made this beautiful shortcake and had homemade whipped cream. You know what I mean? And it's like, I love shortcake, and I had some. Well, afterwards, I just felt like just terrible, and I could feel myself get hot when I eat that. So I much rather not to feel that way. I mean, so I don't. And then you don't really crave it as much when you don't have it. Actually, you're so used to eating that stuff, and then once you stop, it might be hard, but then you don't crave it at all. It's nuts how it goes.
We're wearing raw optics glasses. We did our homework. These are the ones we landed on. I don't have a link for you guys. Sometimes we just tell you what we're using. A lot of times we try to save you money.
And there's lots of other brands.
But these are the best ones we found. Raw optics. I know the name's a little off, but hey man, they work. Okay. They're blocking the blue light. Your devices are messing with your mind. Okay. When Klaus says you're going to be learning to live in an angrier world, look around, because they're turning up the frequencies and they're blasting you all day long. If you're watching a Samsung flat screen or on your phone or on your laptop, it's all flushing you with blue light. And these help take the blue light out. You know what I mean? It helps give all the colors of the spectrum back to your eyes, so it doesn't wreck your circadian rhythm. That's what they're doing. If you can't sleep, if you're tossing and turning, all that stuff has to do with these blue lights. Okay. And Dr. Cruz talks about it. So if you want to go look him up, you can watch some videos where he talks about it. This is what Casey and Callie Means are all about. Okay. She only quit Stanford. I've done my homework. All right. I'm not MSN or CNN or CBS or none. I'm not Tucker Carlson either. All right. His dad was the CIA. Those are facts. And he worked in the propaganda arm of the CIA, where he was in charge of the news overseas. Okay. So these are all facts. But Callie Means, Casey Means, she quit school because she got a $900 million deal to start a biotech firm. All right. It's no coincidence that Elon and Trump had a breakup right after they announced Palantir was going to be collecting all the data on Americans. And now you have the riots in the streets. Okay. None of this stuff is happening by accident, on purpose. You know what I mean? It's all scripted and laid out. They're marching forward every day with the plan, which is they keep telling us, right? China is the goal. You're going to have digital ID. You're going to facial recognition, social credit scores, you're going to have digital money. So they control every aspect of your life. And this is one of the areas that I'm torn in about posting videos on social media. I kind of backed off some because now I know why YouTube all of a sudden just started paying to put the videos up, right? In case you didn't know, YouTube pays us a few cents every view we get. They pay everybody who signs up and meets their requirements now. But that's why they did it. I never really figured it out. Like they could have kept the advertising money all to themselves and people would just be posting videos on there all day long for free still, right? But no, they decided to pay you a couple cents to keep you motivated. And they're doing that because all they're doing is building the AI database, y'all. I'm torn between lovers here. I want you guys to have this information, but at the same time, I'm like, holy cow. They're creating a digital Doug. And they're using my face and my voice and Stacy's face and her voice. And eventually, maybe they'll put it out there and you won't even know it's not really us. That's why we hold our in-person events, so you can see what's up, smell what's up, touch what's up, and learn what's up.
Kathy wants to know, did we get that fox? Well, Kathy, guess what? Today, Doug had left. I ran down to my mother-in-law's to take care of her cats. And Molly likes to go bye-bye. So mother-in-law lives right around the corner. So Molly got in the car. I go down there, and then I coming back.
Which I told you about, taking her off the homestead.
And then she was for like a little while. So I come back, and guess who's running? It was over by our sheep. The fox was here again. It was like noon. And so I squealed in the driveway, and I had Molly get out, and she smelled it immediately, and she ran out of the woods, and I was like, please get it, but she didn't catch it.
Mariah, we never charge a vendor a dime. I mean, I am so disgusted by it, right? Like the vendors at all these homestead events are just like mom and pops, and they're just people like us trying to make a few bucks, you know what I mean? Having their home business. And then they got to go pay like $150, $200, $250. I could never do that, y'all. I don't know, you guys, you think I'm so hard, but I have a little soft spots. You know what I mean? I have friends too, like if they need stuff, I try to help them. I don't want, just, that's not who we are, okay? It's just not who we are.
Okay.
I would never charge you for a vendor spot.
Casey, she says, I asked about garlic and salt ferment turning green. So that's the sulfur. So garlic is notorious sometimes. Over time, it will turn. If you just let it keep going, it'll change back. So don't freak out. It turns like blue or green sometimes. And sometimes people freak out. So it's okay. Don't throw it away. Oh, Maria says, the conference was the best gift I've ever been given, packed with knowledge and great people. Thank you.
Thank you for leaving that little comment for us, y'all.
Yeah,
Our
Noah,
in-person event link is here. Yeah, Noah's awesome. He really enjoyed talking with y'all. Noah, if you didn't know, he is my adopted Amish father. I adopted him,
this
and
is
he
another
adopted me.
Noah I'm talking about.
Oh, well, I thought you were talking about because she talked to him at the conference.
No, that was.
But he was there. He had eggs. He was sharing his knowledge, and he just, what did he say? He said, "We have the best." Tell him what he said.
Because he travels all over the place. He says that was the best group of people that I've ever been around. They all were really like real good people. They didn't have their noses stuck up in the air or anything. He loved everyone that he met. He had the best time of his life. He really did. He loved it. And it was so funny. He says, that's the first thing he said. He goes, "You have the best people." And I agree. And I said, "I think so too, Noah." But this is another no. He wants to know a structured water link, Noah, as
TMHW.net.
TMHW.net.
Link for structured. We're dropping links like dollar bills up in here. Link for structured water. You guys, structured. STUCTURED, whatever. Water here. We have this system. Stacy uses it. Tia put it on her whole house. She has a filtration system, then the structure and everything. So you guys can look into this. When they bastardize your water, they're breaking it all apart, right? And this is putting it back together. Okay. So in a very basic,
in a very simple way, because it's putting it like into a vortex here. So like this is a handheld unit. For a lot of you can just, I get it out of the Berkey and I'll just pour it through, in my cups like this. If we travel somewhere, I take this in the RV. I love this thing. In case you don't know, Stacy and I live 100% off rainwater. We've been doing just fine with it for a while now, okay? We have some filters underneath the house, some pleated filters, a charcoal filter, and everything was fine. But about 5 years ago, right after COVID started, they started raining this stuff in the skies. Like we knew they were chemtrailing before, but they would just do it like before a storm or maybe here and there. It's nonstop every day, hours and hours, hours and hours, hours and hours, here, then they move here, then they do it here. That's why Missouri has 100+ tornadoes this year when we normally only get 30 something. Look at the weather, Texas, silly rabbits down there. He's talking about winds blowing him around 85-mile-an-hour winds. I'm following the radar. They're blasting it right out of Texas. And every time we turn on the tube and Ryan Hall's on there talking about tornadoes or the tornado chaser guys, it's always right from Texas, Oklahoma, up through Missouri and over to Tennessee. It's nonstop, that same kind of a pattern, okay? That's not a coincidence. Oh, the herbal stitches off GordonDougAndStacy.com. Yep. You can get the herbal stitches here and all your medicinal teas. And we also have 100% beeswax candles that purify your air in your home, and it's also good for emergency situations. Like when the power goes out, rolling blackouts. Now, just real quick, because I want you guys to have a little hope, okay? They're not going to roll this thing out as fast as they would like to. They're conditioning your mind right now because they know it's going to be a hot second, because the things that they want to do, this digital ID, facial recognition, social credit scores, this stuff takes a ton, data centers, a ton, you've even heard President Trump say it, of electricity, okay, a ton. He said 100% more than we're using right now. So they need, just for their AI data centers and what they want to roll out and all this facial recognition and stuff,
They need 100% more electricity than 300 million people use on a daily basis. Just let that sink in for a second. So you do have some time, okay? Don't be slothful, but you do have some time to prepare yourself and your family, right, to kind of maneuver through all this stuff. And I think, and it makes perfect sense to me, and it's amazing how we are where we are right now. But if you really want to get out of this digital garbage, this digital jail that they're building for us, you're going to have to get off grid, y'all. You're going to have to learn how to live off grid like Doug and Stacy. It's no joke. And then the only thing you'll have to worry about is this money issue, which black market stuff will pop up like crazy, right? The Amish are already getting prepared for it. Everyone's getting kind of prepared for it. Trading, bartering, all this kind of stuff, right?
I mean, I know even people in some of the churches and stuff have gotten in groups, and people have already tried to start to figure out to get people that they know around. If people make this, do this, you know.
So just know that you have some, but if you're slothful and you think, you know, but you're gonna wake up. And they're going to have this color revolution, they're calling it, in every city across America, and things are going to get bad for you really fast. And then maybe you won't be able to get Dr. Cowan's stuff, or you won't be able to get the teas and the candles. And that's why Stacy wrote books, because maybe you won't even want to be on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Dang, y'all. This is crazy. Yes, please make sure you're hitting that thumbs up. We do appreciate it. Y'all, the theme this month is just taking care of yourself, right? They have put these fake authoritative in your life, right? And they're trained you since school for you to bow down at authority. The police have no authority over you. The president of America has no authority over you. You guys, that's what the whole Constitution is about. It's you and then the Most High. And that's it. They cannot exact fees or licenses from you to even travel in America. But because we're so far removed from the truth, they're operating under color of law, and they scare you into compliance. And then you go get a driver's license, and then you sign the contract with the government the minute you do that. Okay? I'm just going to tell you, I'm never going to have another driver's license. I'm just telling you right now. And I'm definitely not going to have digital ID. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a sovereign citizen, but I am my person. That's it. And that's how you got to start believing and get out of the collective. This is all true stuff, what I'm telling you. Yes, a tornado can take 20 years of preparation and turn it into zero. You got that right. That's why you need a good root cellar. You need a good place to go.
Well, now my other thing too, you also have to think about your mindset too. And understand that. No,
he doesn't need the meningitis vaccine to go to college. Don't send him. That's how they got you in the hoodwink.
Or go to a different
right? College. What is college teaching you to hit you, see? This is 2025, man. The cat's out of the bag. What are you learning at college? Nothing. How to party.
And you can get a lot of exemptions too.
How to party. That's what you're learning, right? They come out of there dumb and indoctrinated, even worse than they were from the public school. Folks, don't send them to the trade school. Get him hooked up with somebody who uses their hands. Y'all, I cannot even believe it. And if you're even paying for it, that's even worse.
I can't tell you one thing I learned in school, college.
They got you so saving your money to send your kids to college while you're trying to retire. It's the biggest scam ever. Didn't you hear how much money Harvard gets from the government? Y'all, college is a scam. All right, let's get back to health. Tell us what you really think. It's a fact. These are facts. It's not even really what I think. It's a fact. They don't teach you nothing.
I mean, look at how you have to go to school for 3 years of learning stupid classes before you get like that last year and a half where you're actually doing stuff that you want to learn about. It's ridiculous. I mean, I went to school to party.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, seriously.
And if you're a gal, look, most of y'all, if you go to school, you end up getting married, having babies, and you should be at home with them. That's the plan. So a lot of people waste their money that way. It's all a scam. It's a feel-good loser scam. So don't send your kids to college, man. Seriously. I'm so serious. I didn't send my kids to college, and I told them when they were young. And if you do want to go to college, you're going to be paying for it for yourself, right? Because I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not going to bust my home till I'm old and then give up 25 grand a semester or something so you can go to college. Come on, y'all. It's a scam.
Now, College of the Ozarks is a good school.
That's a good school because they can work at that college and pay for their own school.
Yeah.
College of the
And then
Ozarks.
you can work and pay for your room and board.
But if they start talking about injections, which I don't think they do, then you say bye-bye, or you get your religious exemption. No one can make you take nothing. So when you say that already, you've been programmed. You got that? You fight for your right to not have stuff injected into you. You have to stand up for yourself. This is the great awakening.
And you know what? A lot of these people go into the trade schools to learn a trade. They are fighting to get people to do those jobs. I mean, you'd have a great career doing that because there isn't hardly anybody that does that now. So I know it's just crazy. Your whole life, like I just know growing up for me, it's like you have to get up and go to college and blah 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 for what? And half the time the majority.
You know what my mom ever said? She never told me to go to college, but she did say you're going to get up and go to school because if you're sick, they're going to send you home. And she said you are going to go to work. Like you need to get a job. You need to go to work. My mom had a really good work ethic. A little too good, actually. You know, we got a little left around the house a little bit back in the day, but that was okay. We kind of took care of ourselves. But yeah, college, man. Wow. Wow. Scam. 15-minute cities. Yes, they're already on the way. That's why they keep wiping out these places. Little Rich is on there talking about now that the Virginia, whatever it is, authority or whatever they call themselves over there, rolling up on this old lady's property, and they want to put a methane generator facility. We have one over here in our town. They turned it on one time and turned it off. It's so loud. They literally just have security guards over there now watching it. And then right up the road from that, they built one of those stupid solar farms. This is all a scam, y'all. All a scam.
It looks terrible too.
TVA, right. And they're literally trying to take this old woman's land. She's been there for 3 generations or something. She's, by herself now. The husband's passed away. They're rolling up in all these cars, bossing her around, walking on her land. Please come to my gate and walk up in my stuff without my authority. Because I'm telling you, bullets will be flying. That is your right to protect your property, period. Okay? Man, y'all, we got to get back to these basics. Hit that thumbs up if you are picking out what I'm putting down. All right, so we have live and in-person events. 2026, Dr. Cowan is going to be our keynote speaker. He is going to do a workshop with y'all, and it is going to be lit. And of course, we have other awesome speakers as well. And Stacy and myself will be there. My 4-year-old just went to check up, made us sign a consent form for no vax.
Oh, they do want to do whatever they can to make you like, why are you?
Yeah, they're making you like you're the black sheep outcast.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, come on, y'all. People are flopping over left and right. The whole cat's out of the bag with this stuff now. If you're even halfway paying attention, you know what's up. So start working on getting your preps ready. We have all these preps here, silver. We have them by the dozens. We have them on standby. We keep them in the cool, dark place. You know what I mean? We do not rely on big pharma. Me and Stacy do not even have a primary care physician, y'all. If you're taking Tylenol or Bayer, please stop. Seriously.
Like today, right now, wild lettuce is very prevalent outside growing. And so today I made a big tincture of wild lettuce. It's good for pain. So, if you don't have an herbal book, you can go to our After with Doug and Stacy site, go to where Doc Jones's information is, Dr. Patrick Jones, homegrown herbalist. He's got classes. They even have emergency medicine kits there as well.
It's a full blown. We did a video about it. If you guys want to look it up back then, it was a live show. We rolled out a lot of the stuff in there, tinctures for days,
but he has smaller ones too. Yeah, there's big ones and there's smaller ones. And then there's books too, anything you can get to teach yourself about these old remedies. But what if you can't get a pain reliever? Maybe something happened where he was in so much pain, What
was that one time we were out down at this place and they talking about, check this out. It's called the the toothache plant.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, really? What's that all about? They said, oh, check this out. Put that in your mouth. And I put that in my mouth.
It's like anesthesia.
All of a sudden, I was numb. It was like I had one of them shots. I was like, this is crazy.
It is.
Yeah, it's called the toothache plant.
Yeah.
And you can get that and have that on your standbys. You know what I mean, y'all?
It's a plant. You can just grow it. You know, you can buy a pack of it. It's called the toothache plant. They look like little domes. They're really cute little flowers. And that works. It's like anesthesia for your mouth. So, yeah, there's so many things out there.
Better than arnica for bruises. Arnica is really good, especially if you can get it internally.
Well, but the one thing, the twos that I did the number 4 and the number 12. Or where is it? I'll tell you what I did.
I don't have the Cowan links up at the offgridwithdougandstacy.com shop tab, but I will probably tomorrow. I tried to do it today, but I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? I don't really do that stuff. I have somebody helps me with the internet stuff. And so they'll get that up for you guys by tomorrow, I would imagine. And then you guys can, you know, if you're watching this,
so you're putting the link up here?
Yeah, I am up here. But if you guys watch the replay, you'll be able to, you know, probably just go to the Off Grid with Doug and Stacy tab and then click it. Sorry for the blurry picture tonight. I'm not sure. I just went outside because the sheep were going and the dog was barking. I thought something was going on. And
like a fox.
I look over to the sunset, which is right over here, and there's 1 line, 2 line, 3 lines right in front of the sunset. So that's probably why our signal's not so hot tonight. We're getting a little overdosed over here. There's
Did I say 4?
Yes, there's protest plan for all over. This is called the Color Revolution. Antifa and all the losers are out there. They're already dropping off pallets of bricks. All this stuff is documented. Don't fall for this stuff. It's all a scam. These Mexicans, they're like talking in California, talking about this is their land. They're the indigenous people. Sorry, but we kicked your butt and ran you out of the land, okay? And then we could have took all of Mexico too, but we said, nah, we're not going to do that. And we gave you the money for California, okay? And then that's that, right? So, you know, this is the kind of stuff we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
So,
it's going to get wild out here.
For the cell salts, I did like the number 4, which is the fair phos, and then I did the 12, which was a silica. And then he did some arnica also. And then just go to drtomcowan.com.
What?
No, and that one, he just has like articles and stuff like that.
But if you don't shop there without using our link, because you will save money if you use our link. And yeah, you have the duty, actually.
Where's the link?
It's your constitutional duty to not let people walk all over you, right? Like if a police tries to illegally detain you or arrest you, you should learn how to handle that situation and tell them to buzz off. And maybe you'll take it in and all that stuff, but when you have your day in court, you will win. Those are facts, but don't be scared. That's the one problem is people get scared with that stuff. All right, I'm going to drop these links one more time for you guys, okay? I'm going to even name them right here. Dr. Cowan. Dr. Cowan.
Tom Cowan.
This is his herbal, his stuff that saves you money. This link saves you money, okay? So the cell salts, the vitamin C, all that stuff is here.
Oh, he's got a huge store.
He's going to be a speaker at the 2026. Nobody else has him, but he'll be a speaker. He's kind of, you know.
He'll be at Western Price.
Yeah, that's like the 2 things he's doing. He does not really like to get around too much, okay? But he will be at the 2026 Homesteading Life Conference. I've already nailed him down. And they're going to come to the house probably too. Check out how we're doing things. So we become besties. And then you can come see him at Homesteading Life Conference. And in case you didn't know, Stacy actually has a women's conference in October. It's very limited seating. If you get a ticket, it'll include your camping if you want to bring a tent or sleep in your vehicle or have a RV there or something. A lot of husbands bring the wives. And I took in the charge off for that, made it inclusive of your ticket. The tickets are on sale now. It's very limited seating. And it'll be the bomb.
We're almost all done. I have almost all the things we're going to be talking about, and it's going to be awesome.
So we'll have
topics. So I'll know next week what we're going to. I'll figure everything out on Friday. We'll have everything nailed down, and I'll have all the titles of all the stuff already that we're going to talk about.
So we have that. It's the homesteadinglifeconference.com. You can just go straight there without a link or anything and check that out. I gave you the Dr. Cowan's link that saves you money. I'll have them up on our website tomorrow, hopefully. And then that way you can just go there. If you guys ever want to do anything for your health, you know, I mean, we're doing it. That's the only reason why we talk about it. We only share with you guys what we've used. I never even talked about his stuff until we actually used it. And at first I was poo-pooing the cell salts. But I think it was something was going on. Did I have a headache or something? Something was going on. And she was like, take these. And then they put the little cell salts on. And it works. It actually, I was cell salts. I never even heard of it before. So a lot of stuff, and that's what they're scared of, it just takes you guys hearing it. And once you hear it, you start doing your own homework, and then you start using it, and then you're like, holy smokes, I've been bamboozled. You know what I mean? And that's definitely what they're scared of right now.
And Tammy, it's called College of the Ozarks.
Amish use flip phones. They use smartphones. Don't kid yourself. This is one of the problems with the Amish right now. And just trust me when I tell you that they're looking at stuff they shouldn't be looking at, just like everybody else. So that's a problem, and they're trying to get a rein on that. But you know, I told Stacy when those phones came out, that was like when we first got here. I said, this is going to become a problem. Fast forward 17 years, it's becoming a problem. All right, do you know anything about ghost pipe? No. Okay, so if you're in our university, we got some great topics for you this Wednesday night. We do a live university show, university.offgridwithdougandstacy.com. You know, someone said Doug and Stacy should have a university. We actually do. So if you want to go to university.offgridwithdougandstacy.com, we have things on there that we can't talk about on social media. There's no way. I'm about to drop some MK Ultra stuff over there that will just blow your mind. And we also talk about health and nutrition, and we talk about the homesteading life, and we have other videos there that we don't have here, and you know, information that we have there that we just can't even share with you here. Okay, you guys might not even know about APAC. There's so much slim shady stuff going on. It's so overwhelming. Like, and then once you learn it and see it, you can't unsee it, right? Ghost pipe is not a mushroom. Okay. Where do you buy the carbon filters that structure the water units? You could get a carbon filter anywhere. You know, I use Filters Plus, I think it's called, because they have a pretty good price on all filters. So if you want pleated filters or ceramic filters or carbon filters, I think it's called Filters Plus, and they can deliver right to your house, put you on a little program, all that stuff.
And then you go through after that.
But you got to get a structure from TMH, Holistic Wellness, TMHW.net. Okay, for the structured water. It's like a thing, you know what I mean, like a device. All right, and if you're in the university, we already did the big meetup we're having in Utah. We already filled all those spots, just so you guys know that we're having a meetup at the Redmond mine in Utah. And then if you were in the university, we did those folks first, okay? And then they gobbled them all up. So I was going to tell you guys about it. But we are going to have a meetup there, so just keep your eyes open if you're on our email list. We're going to tell you all the places we're going. We're going to there, and then we're going to make our way up to Seattle, and then work down PCH, and then Arizona, New Mexico, and then come home. Okay? So we'll see you guys out there somewhere.
It's a long drive.
That's going to be a good time, and we're going to be moving fast. So you guys got to start blocking out your days once you hear us say when it is. And hopefully we won't get caught up in all these riotings, martial law, military presence, and all that stuff. Yeah, we're doing a meetup in Utah. So we'll tell you about that. It's the first couple of weeks of August, you know, the first 10 days or so. We'll tell you where we're meeting up. We'll tell you where we're meeting up via email now. That's the only way I can do it. And so if you're not on our email list, you have to go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com, and then this box will pop up at the homepage. Like as soon as you go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com, it says join email list right there. Get uncensored information that we provide. And then as you're looking at that, the university box pops up and it says, hey, you want to join the university? You can do that too. And then you could just X that out if you're not interested, and then fill out the information for the emails, and then we'll always send them out to you guys. Matter of fact, I just sent out an email the other day just to make sure you guys were getting the latest information that we were talking about. Holy smokes, 89 minutes. Yes, we're coming to Michigan. That's in July. July, we'll be in Michigan in July. All right, and we are going to, it's $9 a month for university. I mean, I hope you can afford it too. I mean, it's like, it just covers the servers. That's it. You know what I mean? Because I have to pay for that stuff just so they can host us there. And we opted out of the apps. This is how serious I am. Like, I could have put it on the app so you could just go to your phone and download an app, and Apple and Google control all that stuff. And I don't want them controlling what we talk about. I had to get with these folks on the separate side and stuff and tell them I don't want that. And then they did a workaround for us just so we could do it. Okay, so they host it without the app, but you have to log in and go to university.offgridwithdougandstacy.com every time, and then log in, and then you can watch all the information we give there. You can watch it anytime you want. Our live shows on Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and if you miss it, it's also there for you 24/7 anytime you want to reference it. Okay. All right, holy smokes, man, this was lit. So if you just got here, I had an accident, the deer almost got me, I barely tapped the brake, boom, the whole buggy slid out from underneath me, right into the ditch, rolled over, busted up my head.
It doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, it does.
That bad.
It does look bad. Busted up my head in the front, cut a hole in my lip, busted up my lip. I had a big fat lip, free collagen injections. Had no black eye really, but I got a little black on my eyelid now, so you can see that, right? And we just talked about how we manage that pain and discomfort and the swelling and everything involved with that. So that's good information for you guys, and we're just encouraging you guys.
If you miss it, go back to the beginning.
And we're just encouraging you guys to keep your preps up. Do not be slothful in such a time as this, okay? Make sure you got all your little herbal remedies. And you know, you can't just have them. You have to know how to use them. So that's the other thing, right? Just don't, a lot of people buy a sun oven, which they're not available in America anymore, but then they leave it in the box and they never use it. Like, don't get this stuff and then not use it.
Or, okay, what happens if you need to use it, you have it, you're like, oh, I have it. You should maybe, you know, look at it, open it, because a lot of the stuff you just buy just to have, and then when you need to have it, you don't know how to use it, or stuff like the sun oven. You have to take off all there's plastic on the outside of the mirrors, you know, that reflect. Got to take that off. I mean, about some of this stuff, like know how to use some of this stuff, or if you're gonna, you know, use some of these remedies, you know, maybe kind of read the directions first, so you know.
I mean, seriously, you don't want to get caught flat-footed, okay? Somebody just asked about the herbal stitches. I'm gonna leave the link for you guys on the way out here. The herbal stitches are here. Okay, at Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and then hit the shop tab. And then scroll down and you'll see all of our teas and all that stuff, right? And here's the link for Dr. Cowan's stuff. And then I will with all these links save you money. I'll tell you something, if even if you're a little confused on the you can just Google it. You can even talk and say, hey, no, what it does. So if you're confused about, you know, what to do or how to use it, you can Google it and you can find out all about it. But they have, you know, directions, and they'll say, this is what this is for. But what I like about this, the kit, you get this little pamphlet and it'll go over all the different things in here too. Look what Kim says. Your 2025 conference was amazing. It was the first one I attended. It was way better than I expected. I got so much out of it and fun. What do you mean it was way better than you expected? You should have came there with the highest expectations. Doug and Stacy deliver. That's what we do, man. We love y'all. Seriously. I mean, it's like you're like our extended family. Roaring Lion, you clean the wound, and then you just pack it with the powder. You don't do anything else. Pack. It's a dry pack. Boom. And listen. And then if it bleeds, you just keep packing it more. Black walnut for parasites, it's okay, yeah. It's good. No, it's great. It's great. But black seed oil. There's another one. Oh, yeah, one for the parasites. I will say, now has a really good tincture that's got
black walnut, wormwood, and cloves, because it gets in all.
Yeah, we're going to
types
be
of
in Seattle.
parasites.
Don't worry. If they don't burn you down before we get there, because trust me, Seattle, Oregon, all these places are going to light up next. They're going to start popping these little, dealios off everywhere. Just make sure you're watching. If you see a pallet of bricks laying around somewhere, you know it's coming to a neighborhood near you. They set all this stuff up in advance, and they put out their little Antifa phone calls to everybody, and then they all show. Y'all, listen to this. This is the clown world. Okay? We're being poisoned by vaccines and injections. Okay? They're spraying the skies nonstop, right? You guys get this? They're literally taking us out. Look at the numbers. Myocarditis, all this stuff is up 300, 500. Colon cancer in kids up 500%. This is what we're dealing with. And we don't say nothing. We're not protesting in the streets. We're not mad about it. We're not demanding fluoride be taken from our water supply. Every state, we should be having a big picket at the state capitol where you live every second Tuesday of the month until they take that crap out of our water. Well, we don't. We complacent. We just say, we just worry about ourselves. But then these guys, because you want to take some illegals out of here, they are lighting the town on fire. Or because if you kill a drug addict who has an overdose, actually, they're lighting the town on fire. If you say the fake story of hands up, don't shoot, they're lighting the town on fire. Do you see what we're living in right here? The things that even matter the most are not even being dealt with, and we're just dealing with clown world stuff. I hope you can see that with your own eyes.
Okay, Tara, I see this question a couple times. She says, how do you separate all the tomato plants from the pod in the spring? I think you're talking about the one where you put the sliced tomatoes in there. Yeah. So all you do is when you start watering them, you're going to get hundreds of little plants. You're just going to take out the ones, ones that look pretty good, take them out, and then you're going to transplant them in another little pot. Let it grow until it gets a little bit bigger, and then you just water it, and then eventually it'll get big enough, and then you can transplant it. When it's about so big, you can transplant it and put it in your raised bed or whatever.
Just watch some of this stuff going on in LA, right? When the people get out in force, the cops cower. This is happening, right? There's, in a way, this is good for you to see, like, we are the power and they know it. So that's why they try to squash it, right? But once we get our voice going and we demand what we demand, they are going to pay attention, I promise you. But, making phone calls, and you can't elect your way out of tyranny, especially when the whole system is rigged and they tell you right to your face. Everything has been in your face for at least 5 to 6 years, y'all. So you can't even ignore it anymore unless you just want to. I'm evil to the core, I am. Oh, what does that mean? Exactly. Do tell. Please elaborate. All right, I'm 70 and my wife is 60. Can we bring our camper and stay there? Yes. If you're talking about the conference, yes. And if you need help at the conference, we have a lot of volunteers. We're always helping folks. All right. Homesteading, Hazelwood, Missouri. Oh, look at there. Scott's half-acre homestead in Hazelwood, Missouri. Listen to this guy. I did some sliced tomatoes in the fall and the spring and grew all kinds of tomatoes. Man, this guy right down the road. Come on. I went to Hazelwood Central. I grew up in Florissant a little bit there, but they couldn't put me in that school, right? My soul and my body knew it was not a place for a man to be or a boy to be. So I packed up and split.
You did.
All right, y'all. So this month, we're talking about trying to, make sure that you're staying healthy for yourself, that you're checking out of the big pharma lie. Okay.
But the one thing we're talking about is like the cell salts.
Yes. A
lot of people like that 12-in-1. A lot of people even will start doing it once a day. And they've noticed a lot of health, like chronic health problems that they have, a lot of times have gotten better or even went away. People suffer headaches or, it kind of goes where you kind of need it. So just do your research on tissue salts or cell salts and
St. Genevieve, Missouri. I better see all you people at the 2026 Homesteading Life Conference or some of you ladies at Stacy's conference. You guys are right down the road. How could you pass up this opportunity? Seriously. This is right down the road stuff. You can actually do the thing, go back home, come back up. You know what I mean? Like it's not even that far.
I don't know about St. Genevieve, but
it's a little farther.
Close. Oh, there's Melville.
Yeah.
High school.
Yeah. Dr. Leo's coming up tomorrow, so we'll have another bee video for you guys. So look for that. And just stay vigilant out there. You know what I mean? Like the most capable hand is at the end of your wrist. Stop co-opting out your life. And for heaven's sake, stop co-opting out your kid's life. Please. If you can, you can do it, but you're scared to. Just quit your job and stay at home with your children and teach them in the way they should go, right? When you send your children to Rome, don't be upset when you get back Caesar. You feel me? We have to break this lie that we've been living. You know what I mean? Have to break it.
I'll put the Colin thing up there one more time.
All right, y'all. So that's all we got for you for tonight. If you are watching this on the replay, you can leave your questions below and we'll try to answer them for you guys. You can go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com, hit the shop tab. All the links we talked about should be up there tomorrow. The Dr. Cowens are the only ones missing, and we'll have those up for you guys there tomorrow. And, man, stay vigilant and stay spiritually fit.
That's right, you guys. You just keep learning and keep doing and just be prepared.
If you're an old timer like us, I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Dr. Cruz straight up said it. I couldn't believe he said it, but he said it. He said that this COVID thing, the whole thing, don't you remember how they locked you up in the nursing home? Wouldn't let you see your mom, let her die by herself, let your dad die by themselves. The whole thing with this thing was to take out the elders, okay? Because they don't know the full freedom thing, but they are one step closer than the kids are coming up now. You understand what I'm telling you? So that was one of the things they had to do. Like, you don't even know about a allodial title on your property. They got you running around with certificates, right? Like the title to your car is now a certificate, and that's why the state can take it from you if you don't pay your taxes. You feel me? So once you learn how to unravel all that stuff, you'll be more protected as well. But I thought it was pretty interesting that he straight up said that whole thing was designed to take out the whole older part of the population. And they did a pretty good job. So don't volunteer yourself out of here. You got things to do. You got people to help. And you got life to live. Right? Boom. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't. And we'll see you guys on the next video.
See you guys next week.
There's our wood cook stove. Hold on, I'm going to show you the sauerkraut Stacy made today, some of it. Isn't it beautiful? Loaded with vitamin C. This is how the sailors fought scurvy, y'all. Sauerkraut is action-packed. Okay? You can do it. You just have to do it.